Yeah, sure. Hi guys, nice to see you. Bit of a different environment, so it's nice. I guess we start where you guys are at the moment. I'm beaten in 9, good run of form in 2025. I mean, Andy, let's start there. What has sparked that? What's been the key to sort of that real improvement that you've seen since sort of returning after Christmas?
Well, it's been the clean sheets from Hope and the backline. That's what's kept us there. But yeah, I think it's something we spoke about in between the break. We came back just before the new year, and we spoke as a group that we wanted to make sure that we were focusing on us and what we do each session and each day. And we're in a moment now where we're in sort of 3 evenings a week. We're about to train tonight, but then usually a Wednesday, sometimes a Friday, if availability allows it. Players like Hope and some others can come in and do sessions as well. So, there's been a real good desire from everyone in the group to come in and do a little bit of extras, making sure that themselves in their unit or the little groups of we've in the analysis we put defenders together, wingers together, fullbacks together, and those little things really we've changed. We haven't done anything drastic. It's just been very much hard work and trying to focus on us. We've spoke about the opposition, but it's how do we use our strengths to get round through or over the opposition, and they've all been brilliant since we've come back, and that's what we've seen in the results as well.
Yeah, I guess having that little break has probably helped you do a lot of that stuff, because as you say, when the windows are so small and the games are so constant, I can imagine it can be quite difficult away from sort of training and games to properly step back and assess things.
Yeah, the women's game allows that because we get the Christmas break, and I think it was one we had quite a successful period before Christmas. We went quite far in all the cup competitions that we could, and obviously still in the County Cup, and that led to us playing every single weekend from the start of July right the way through till Christmas. And once you get to that point, when all the players, all the girls, they all work, they all do other things on top of playing for Norwich City. So for them, you could see that everyone was tired, everyone needed that little bit of a break. And in the women's game, we get a natural break, which is good. And yeah, everyone can go home, enjoy the Christmas break and do everything that we do over Christmas, but then we come back nice and refreshed. And sometimes a break is as good as anything. And we've been fortunate that, since then we took stock, and yeah, Hope and the back line have kept a few more clean sheets, and they're buzzing with that. And then, yeah, at the top end of the pitch, we've scored a lot more goals as well. So, yeah, it makes it sound very simple and very easy and enjoyable, but there's been a lot of ups and downs. And if we were here every week, there'd be a lot of other conversations we'd have had. But it's been enjoyable. I think that's the most important thing for me. It's been really enjoyable with the staff and the players. I've enjoyed every moment that we've had throughout the season, but especially the last 2-3 months now.
Yeah, I'll come on to you hoping it in a moment, but in terms of sort of this period, you must be really pleased with how the players have taken it on, because as you say, it's all very well and good preparing analysis clips and putting things into groups, but then it's up to the players to actually take that information on board and that improvement.
Yeah, and I've had conversations with several players throughout the season. This is going to sound a little bit sort of over the top, but sometimes you put a team together, you put a plan together, you put clips together, and it's a little bit of a hope. No pun intended. It's a little bit of a hope that you win the games, that you play well, that Hope keeps clean sheets, that Quance does her job, and you go off the trust that you've built up, that you've seen stuff enough in training or enough in the season, and the players have built up the credit to go, right, this is the team that's going to play. And there's a player that really before Christmas didn't really get many minutes at all, and then has come on, has been fantastic the first 12 weeks of this year. Olivia Cook has been brilliant, and she's took a chance, and she's the example really of sometimes you've got to wait. We've had conversations, me and her, throughout the season of what she needs to do and improve on. And she took her opportunity when we had a few injuries and illnesses against Seaward, and she's been fantastic. And I know the girls have all been supportive, even before Christmas, when she didn't maybe get as many opportunities. I would often hear in sessions when she would go past the fullback, cross the ball, and the girls were all supportive of her. It's good that she's been able to produce the performances she has, and she's been great. She's been great all season, but she's got the rewards, and yeah, that's her hard work, and it's something where, as you say, it's one thing putting it all together, it's another thing going out and producing it, and Cookie's done that. But so has everybody else. There's been lots of players that, unfortunately, are finding it hard to get back in the starting 11 at the moment. But that's because we're in a good run, and when things are going well, it's hard to change it because it's hard to justify that. And Sometimes it's a tactical change, or there's a couple of tactical things we've made in certain games recently. But yeah, you're just looking at something and hoping it works. And the players have got to produce, and I've been fortunate that they've produced every session, and then they've continued to do that in the games as well.
Yeah, and Hope, I mean, as a player, have you felt that shift sort of post-Christmas and things coming together a bit more, and obviously that improvement to create the sort of run that you've created over the last couple of months?
Yeah, definitely. As we spoke about, I think the break came at almost a perfect time for us. I think reflecting on it, we probably were in a place where we didn't want to be physically, emotionally, mentally. So having that break actually allowed us to reset and refocus. And a really big thing that I think Andy's pushed since coming back is being present in the moment. Whatever happened before that happened, and there's nothing we can do about that now. But it's now our actions in the present. So each time something happens, so we keep winning, it's then the next game. We don't focus on that we've won a game. It's then how can we then continue that and make it better. And I think training as well has been incredible since coming back. Everyone's energy, motivation, communication has been fantastic. And honestly, I'm really proud of everyone in the team as a squad. We've got 16-year-olds in the squad that have probably been through emotional times in that period and have bounced back so well. Like, you've got to look at Izzy Moore, Sienna, people like that have played week in, week out and have made a big impression. And then obviously we've got other members of the squad that bring that composure, that experience, like Quants, Tash and that. And they've really helped everyone come along and keep going.
And you must really feel like you've grown as a team as this season has gone on. And it sounds like you're in a place now where the mindset's better and the balance is really good amongst you all.
100%. I don't think, even during that Christmas period, I never questioned our togetherness as a team. We never broke apart. It was nothing of that. We were always together. We always helped each other back up and really pushed each other going forward. And I think that definitely showed after the Christmas break that we all had each other's back. Maybe promotion isn't on the cards anymore. That doesn't really matter. We're still a team. We're still pushing for what we can get. And we're pushing each other in training. And I think we're getting the best out of each other, which is the most important thing, really.
Do you think that freedom, and maybe this is one that you can both answer, that freedom of having what you had earlier in the season, and as you say, having a team like Bedford in this league, has it taken a little bit of pressure off you, do you think, and has maybe allowed you to be a little bit more expressive, like you say? Because I imagine when you've got the Norwich City badge on in any league, really, there is a pressure that comes with that.
I think obviously, yeah, there is a pressure to it, but at the same time, pressure is a privilege. We don't get as many people coming to our games because we're just Norwich City. It's because they know we play good football, and that's a privilege, as I've said. So having that pressure isn't necessarily a bad thing. I think that's actually pushed us to be better. And we have such high expectations of ourselves, and obviously that's a blessing and a curse at times, but we know where we want to be and we know where we want to go as a group. So
yeah, I mean, same for you, Andy, really, because the room for margin in this league, as we all know, is so tight, isn't it, with one going up?
Yeah, and it's across tier 3 and 4 in the women's pyramid. Arguably tier 2 as well with the championship. The room for error is so small, and the period we had where there was a couple of losses and a couple of draws. That moment you're looking and going, well, it's going to be tough now, and it's still going to be tough. I mean, Bedford have got games in hand, but if they drop points, then it's down to them. But I think it always has been, really, and I think that unfortunately, in the first sort of 6 months of my time here, was probably the focus too much was on us and us going of Norwich City should win and Norwich City should be the ones leading it. But when you look at a team like Bedford, they can really, with the backing that they have from the ownership that they've got, that they're really a punching above their own weight, and we've got to really focus on us. And as Hope said, I think that's something that I've wanted to focus on after Christmas. And you look at the way that we probably could have worked in the first 6 months, if we were close to where we were in the last 12, I think the league table would look differently. But they're little things that we need to learn and we need to focus on, and we need to make sure that we completely. Sorry, that we just compete better in certain areas, and we probably could have competed better in the first 6 months in a few of those games. But the pressure for me is as Hope said, it's a cliched phrase, but the pressure is a privilege because you work for Norwich City and you want to put them on the to get them into the highest leagues possible. It was the same for me working at Nottingham Forest and Newcastle United. The pressure was there in different ways and different versions, but you want to push yourself to be the best you can, and I don't see why you would get involved in any sport if you don't want to be the best that you can be. And I know that's the same for several of the players, if not all the squad here, that they're all on different times and different journeys. A lot of them obviously are still young and starting on their footballing careers. As Hope said, we've got several 16-year-olds that push the seniors as far as they can and will continue to do that. And then the seniors are at a different moment where they've still got to work, they've still got to then come in and then train and play as well as anyone. So yeah, I think that sort of pressure is just in everyone's own mind, and what we've got to make sure is that as a group of players we lift the pressure, and as a team of staff we've got to make sure that they don't feel the pressure from us, because we can control all that. What everybody else says, yourselves in the media or fans or whatever it might be, that's the beauty of where we are in the world. The amount of social media and everything else that goes on, they can talk and build that up, that's fine. But as a group of staff, we've got to make sure that we alleviate the pressure from the players, and hopefully the players don't feel that, and then they've got to talk amongst themselves about how good they are, because they're a very good group of players, and they just need to keep working and as Hope said, be present in the moment. If they make a mistake, that's fine. It's the reaction that counts. Make sure they press the ball, they win the ball, and then they go forward and the drive us forward as a team. And if they do that more times than enough, they'll probably be on the end of a positive result on a weekend.
Yeah, I'll come on to that game in a moment, but I guess the sort of objective now is to apply as much pressure as you can, right, in terms of Bedford, if they do slip up, or try and make it as difficult for them now from here.
Yeah, and it always has been the case, but it's one of them where there's a lot of teams want to upset Norwich City because we are the biggest name in this league, because we are a huge club in the area, and you look at the geography of the league that we're in. If a team can take any points away from Norwich City, it's a huge scalp for them. So we've got the pressure that whenever a team plays against Norwich City, that they're focused on, well, we can beat Norwich, we want to beat Norwich. But that's been the same for me. I've had that at Newcastle United, I had that at Nottingham Forest, where everybody looked and wanted to beat those teams because of the infrastructure of those football clubs at the time, and it's the same here now. So for me, it's not a problem. It's a part of the game, and something that you've just got to embrace and enjoy, to be honest. But we've just got to focus on us, and that's what we've done. And when we played Bedford, and I spoke to some of your colleagues that aren't here today, of the pressure's always been on Bedford, and it will continue to be that. And since then, they've done what they needed to do. So that's down to them on how they do it and on the way they do it. But we just focus on us. We make sure the analysis was good last night, the session was good, and tonight it'll be even better. So as long as we do that, we'll be happy.
Hope, obviously a big game this weekend, London B, second versus third. I mean, as a player, what's it like to play in those games? How exciting is it, obviously, especially being at home in front of your own fans? It's
so exciting. I think from us personally, we have a bit of a point to prove. Obviously, we drew 3-3 at theirs, and we can definitely play a lot better. We can go up the gears, and I think we've really got to show what we can do. Personally, for us, that felt like 2 points dropped. So we want to show that we can get the 3 points against them. And obviously, with the home crowd, it's always amazing. We have some ultra fans there as well, so it's always good to see them. And it's just another chance to put on a show and show what we can do as a group.
And in terms of obviously the nest and playing there, obviously you can speak about karaoke, but how much have you enjoyed that this season? Because I think year on year it feels like that place has grown in terms of support, but also in terms of your performances and how much it's felt like a home to you guys.
100%. Whenever a team comes to the nest, I think they always think it's going to be a difficult day. We play really well there, and we have a solid foundation, and obviously, as you say, there's a good crowd, a good support. Ever since I've been here, I joined last season, there's always been a couple of hundred at times. So it's always good to be there and play there. And yeah, it's like a second home really.
Yeah, and you've obviously got a County Cup final, a game at Carrow Road on the horizon, so it's still shaping up to be a really exciting end to the season for you guys.
100%. We've still got a lot to play for, and as I said, it's always an opportunity to put on a show and play as well as we can do, and show the graft that we put in the week on a Sunday.